Equation of lines are perpendicular lines. We in this particular PowerPoint, we will be focusing on the equation of lines, the perpendicular lines. What are the conditions that makes lines perpendicular? How do we work out the equations of perpendicular lines? If you look at this diagram now, this graph, have a look at this. These two lines, the green and the red ones, they are perpendicular. They are at right angle. Perpendicular means right angle. They meet at right angle. Um, basically, the conditions are this. If you multiply to do gradients together, if you multiply the two gradients together, you're always gonna have minus one. So when you multiply together the gradient of two perpendicular lines, you will always get minus one. In other words, if the gradient of this here is 6, the gradient of the other line will be minus 1 over 6. If the gradient of this is 7, the gradient of the other line will be minus 1 over 7. If the gradient of this is 2, the gradient of the other one is minus 1 over 2. As simple as that. But such conditions are very important to note. Now, remember that the gradients of two perpendicular lines multiply together to give minus 1. Uh, Using that information, give the equation of a line perpendicular to each and every one of these lines. Have a go, press pause. When you're done, press play. Okay, now let's look at the first equation here. Y equals 3x minus 2. Here the gradient is 3. The gradient of the line that is perpendicular to this has to be minus 1 over 3. Has to be that, because what happened here is minus 1 over 3 times 3 will give you minus 1. So the equation of line we are looking for has to be y equals minus 1 over 3x, then plus any other value you choose. So remember here, you can choose whatever value you choose here is okay. It could be plus 3 or minus 3. It could be plus 2, minus 5. Any value of the constant C is allowed. The second question, y equals minus 4x minus 1. Here the gradient is minus 4. So the gradient of the new line we're looking for has to be 1 over 4. Because 1 over 4 times minus 4 is going to give you minus 1. So the equation will start y equals 1 over 4x plus c. Again, your value of c here is doesn't really matter. Any value of c, constant c here is allowed. So it could be a plus 2, could be a plus 1, it could be your number of your choice. Now look at this one here. Y equals 8 minus 2 over 5x. Here the gradient is a gradient of this particular line here is minus 2 over 5. The gradient of what we are looking for has to be the reciprocal of this. Now, what do I mean by reciprocal? Reciprocal means just the inverse of this, which is just 5 over 2. So reciprocal of this has to be, but again, you got to change the sign. So 5 over 2 with the sign change. Okay, because when you multiply this, 5 over 2 times 2 over 5 with a minus, you're going to get minus 1. So the equation you are looking for should be y equals 5 over 2x plus your constant, whatever number you decide to choose there. And the last one here, minus 2 over 3, the coefficient, the gradient has to be reciprocal of this, which is with the sign change. So 3 over 2, that's what it is. And then you are looking for y equals 3 over 2x plus your constant. And that's it done. So have a go at this question. Try these questions. Give the equations of a line perpendicular to this. There are 4 of these questions. Press pause. Have a go. When you're done, press play. Okay. So remember here, any value of the constant C is allowed. So here we got 7. So the reciprocal of that has to be 1 over 7 with the sign change, which is this. So y equals minus 1 over 7x plus c. C is your constant, and whatever number you choose there, that is correct. Here we have y equals minus 6x minus 9. Here again, minus 6. So the reciprocal of this with sign change has to be 1 over 6. So y equals 1 over 6x plus c. C is whatever number you choose here. Now here, the coefficient here, the gradient here is minus 3 over 4. So the gradient of the line we are looking for is the reciprocal of this with the sign change, which is 4 over 3 x, and then plus your constant or the number you choose. Finally here, it should be here the reciprocal of this with the sign change should be 5. 5x plus the number you chose. Okay. Now, this is a typical exam question, and it says this. It says, find the equation of a line perpendicular to y equals 7x plus 4 and passing through the coordinate point 2 and 5. Have a go with this. Remember here, this coordinate is given so that you can work out the value of c. Have a go, press pause, and when you are done, press play. Here we go. This is what it is. Gradient here is look at that. Gradient here is 7. So the gradient of what we are looking for is a reciprocal of 7 with the sign change, which is minus 1 over 7. So equation of the line has to be minus 1 over 7 x plus c. At this point, we need to make the most of this coordinate. X is 2, y is 5. Substitute here, x is 2, y is 5. That gives you that c is 5 2 over 7. So the equation of the line we are looking for is y equals minus 1 over 7x plus 5 to 7. And that's it done. Okay. Try this question. Find the equation of a line perpendicular to y equals minus 6x minus 9 and passing through the point 36. Press pause. Have a go. When you're done, press play. All right, that's what it is. Here, remember the gradient here is minus 6. So the gradient of the line we're looking for is the reciprocal of this with sign change, which is 1 over 6. So equation of the line is 1 over 6x plus c. Use this coordinate to find c. X is 3, y is 6. Here, substitute here, and then you get c is 5 and a half. Let's put it back on the equation. You have y equals 1 over 6x plus 5 and a half. And then that's you done. Did you get that right? Okay.